everybody, it is the Law Gnome. Welcome back to another Funko Pop update. If you are new to my channel, let me just say welcome. It is a pleasure to have you. And for all of you returning, I'm really hoping that the changes that you noticed in the last video that I made regarding Funko Pops was not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I know it's been a certain thing that I have been keeping to for little over 10 years now. And sometimes when change is made, it's not the easiest thing to bear, but believe me, there were reasons. I have other videos that explain that stuff, so I'm really hoping that you're going to stick around and enjoy my Funko Pop updates as we move forward in 2024. So, I guess the place to start now, before we go into the collection is, was there anything interesting that Funko presented and announced in the last month? Well, I'm definitely going to say that there was a lot of interesting stuff, but I'm not going to say it was anything I was interested in. But there was something, and I have to thank members of the Funko collecting community in YouTube that brought this to my attention. There's a certain Funko product that hasn't really been getting featured lately, and that is Funko Soda. I have no idea what happened because I remember when Funko Soda first came out. Was I on board with it? Not entirely. It always was same with Funko Pops. There had to be that one specific thing that gave me the willingness to go out and find myself one of those products. And in the case of Funko Sodas, it was when they announced the Bob Ross. And when I bought the Bob Ross and he arrived in the mail, I started to understand the value in what these small figures were, and more importantly, the fact that Funko Soda had brought back a little something that had been missing from the Funko Pop game for quite some time, and that was the love of the hunt. But then a couple of interesting things happened with Funko Sodas. The fact that there were certain lines that didn't have a numbered item. The fact that in order to get Funko Sodas, you had to buy a cooler with 6 Funkos in them for a pretty hefty price. And now, it's a rare product all of a sudden. I don't know if this is one of those things that Funko was trying to dial back a bit, if you will, but I don't even see much of the Funko Rewinds either, and that was one of the newer products that came out when Funko was saying that they were going to focus on the quality and not the quantity. But I just don't understand why you would want to dial back on a product that was actually very popular, especially one that was trying to keep those Funko faithfuls latched onto you, because it really invigorated a lot of Funko collectors, myself included. I don't have many sodas, but I do, in fact, have my share. So they, of course, want to capitalize on Valentine's Day like they did over the last couple of years, and it seems that they decided not to go the route of the pink character in Funko Pop form, but they did something a little bit more weirder. This time, it was mostly Disney, because I saw a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas, I saw famous Disney characters, I saw Marvel characters and Star Wars characters, and they were these popular characters that looked like unwrapped chocolate treats. And some of them had a bite taken out of it. And it was really funny because I saw one of them in the store, I believe it was a boxed lunch, and I just got an idea just to look through the window of the packaging, and the ones that had bites taken out of them, you could literally see the inside of their heads. They were hollow. And I was just saying to myself, man, that's creepy. But I'd like to know if any of you out there actually saw these, or possibly even picked one of them up for yourself or for a special someone. I don't know what that special someone would do in return when they actually see that you got them one of those unusual chocolate Funkos, but need I say more, and need I say less also. But other than that, I do know for a solid fact that in popular culture, because that's what Funko is all about, there's 2 big anniversaries taking place this year. And that is the 85th anniversary of Batman and the 40th anniversary of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, are we going to see some new products from both of those franchises from Funko? I would like to hope so. Hopefully a brand new wave of Batman animated series that I think would be nice. There's a whole lot of characters that they still haven't given us, and that was a very popular set. But I also was very happy to see that Target Con is on the horizon. I also noticed that there were a couple of other conventions that were taking place. Even London Toy Fair happened already, and there was no big Funko news to show up on any social media. But I am excited that TargetCon is coming, and some of the products that they're going to be showing us around then is very interesting, but there is definitely one that I personally am really excited about. I'm going back to the comic covers, guys, because the comic covers, I am now developing a pretty good collection. I actually added some great comic covers that are connecting, so to speak, and the last piece is going to be coming out around Free Comic Book Day, and I'm really excited to showcase all four of them together. But there is going to be a comic cover of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. That was a comic book that came out just a couple of years ago, and this year we're actually going to be getting the sequel miniseries to the original miniseries, and I am so excited because I did get The Last Ronin soda, but I didn't get The Last Ronin Funko Pop. I just didn't like the way it looked. But now I take a look at this new Funko Pop that's going to be encased in this great comic cover, and I'm pretty sure that the comic cover artwork is Kevin Eastman. Pretty sure about it. So the fact that I would not only get a cool-looking Funko Pop, but a great piece that pays tribute to one of the creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, well, I'm all for that, guys. I gotta admit that. So that's some of the stuff that I've been hearing about in regards to news about new products and lack thereof. But in the meantime, let's take a look at how my collection has been going. So today is a very special day over here in the Funko Pop studio because I am proud to feature a piece of my collection that I had been waiting for Funko to finally give us for almost a decade's worth of collecting. The Dragon Ball Z line is definitely a fan favorite, and it has gone on to create some Dragon Ball. There's not as many as Dragon Ball Z, but there also has a great deal of Dragon Ball Super, and rumor has it they are finally going to give us a Dragon Ball GT line. So as someone who has been collecting Goku's family, including his evil brother Raditz, I had been waiting for Pan and even Bardock to finally become Funko Pop. So the fact that Pan will most likely be becoming a Funko Pop soon from the GT line, and as someone who does enjoy Dragon Ball GT, I will definitely add it to my collection. But that's not why we're here. We're here because my favorite villains of Dragon Ball Z have finally been given to us in Funko Pop form. I don't have Frieza in my collection, I don't have Cell, I don't even have Majin Buu. When it comes to my favorite villains in Dragon Ball Z, it is without a doubt the Ginyu Force. They are fun to look at, they are absolutely hilarious, and they have personalities that truly stand out when it comes to any other fiend or foe that Goku and the Z-Warriors ever faced in that entire saga of storytelling. So, when I found out that they were making the Ginyu Force, not only was I very excited, but if I was going to get the Ginyu Force, it was only going to be in the GameStop exclusive 5-pack. You can get them individually. You can even get them individually from Entertainment Earth as exclusives that glow in the dark. But no, forget the glow in the dark. You have to have the Ginyu Force as an entire set. So this is also my very first 5-pack. I never had a 5-pack before. I have 2 4-packs. I have plenty of 2-packs. I even have a 3-pack. But I never had a 5. This may be my only one, but I have no shame in saying that. So, we gotta take a look at each of these guys because this is definitely some unique stuff. And also, this is going to be the very last time I ever take these guys out of their box because, man, there is so much to this box. It's literally like a model kit. I'm not kidding. There are so many stands. They even put them in the box in very unique ways. Each one is unique to each individual Funko Pop that has one, and it's just a lot to do. It takes you about 5 solid minutes just to get everything out and positioned. So, let's take a look at them all. Let's go to Ricoom first. Ricoom definitely has the most dynamic pose. I mean, I love how he's like, this is too much. I can't even deal with it. And I also love how they all have their Scouters. I don't have that many Funko Pops from Dragon Ball Z with Scouters, but the Scouter happens to be one of my favorite things about Dragon Ball Z. Also, the Frieza Force uniforms, but of course these guys are Ginyu, so they have the very special Ginyu logo, and his pose is just absolutely hilarious. The details on his hair are fantastic. I don't really like the fact that he has such a menacing looking face. I mean, I thought maybe he would be a little bit more goofy looking, but the others make a lot more sense. Let's take a look at Birder. Birder is the only one that actually comes on his stand. Everyone else, you got to put them in their stands. But, of course, he's got that one-leg pose like a flamingo. He's also the only one that has a different color set of eyes. He's got red eyes because that's him in the show. Also, his uniform is a little bit different from Raccoon's. His is black as opposed to white. And, again, great look. The one thing that I'm a little bit surprised about is he has a couple of bumps on his head in the show, so I'm really surprised they did not include them in his Funko Pop, but that's okay. I just love the way he's looking. Along with Raccoon, they have great poses. Now let's take a look at my favorite villain from Dragon Ball Z of all time. Yes, everybody, it is Jace. I've always loved Jace. He was just like, you know, a hair metal rock guy, something like that. Love the fact that he's got that stupid little pose that he was always in, his bright orange skin, his white flowing hair. He has so much hair. So much, in fact, that there even is a piece on his stand where you can actually position his hair. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it was made properly. As you can see, it's a little bit off, but you're supposed to put the tip of his hair in there so he can actually sit on his stand perfectly. But either way, I managed to make it work. He looks fine. And now let's take a look at Guldo. Guldo, also a really big surprise that he's a little bit bigger. He's actually the smallest character, and he's actually just as big as Jace, and I don't know why. He's supposed to be a little bit smaller and a little bit more pudgier, but they definitely got the roundness going. You could flip him around. There he is. But of course, the interesting thing about him is that he does not have one of the Scouters. He's got 4 eyes. So I love how they got his eyes. I like that these are like wincing to a certain degree, and they did get the little warts all over his face perfect. I love the pose. This is great. And I also love how they got his feet right. His feet were very stubby, very pointy. And now let's get to the leader, Captain Ginyu himself. Of course, I am really impressed that they went with this look. I mean, I really thought that they would probably go out of their way and make the very hilarious pose where he actually shows his rear and his head is in between his legs. That is probably one of the funniest things that he ever did on the show, so I wouldn't be surprised if there might actually be a convention exclusive or another exclusive of that character doing that. That would make so much sense, but again, the veins in his forehead, I thought there would be a little bit more, especially on the back. They didn't really get to that, but that's okay. I also love the finger motion. They're very, very long fingers. I really like that. And more importantly, I love how there's so much detail in his kneeling position. They just got everything on him right. And they got everything right when it comes to this entire set. These characters, I think, were worth the wait. I think every Dragon Ball Z fan would definitely agree with me. So, all of you out there who have been waiting for the Ginyu Force, I'm hoping that you're happy with the results. I'm hoping that you got them however you chose to, and I'm happy with my purchase. So, I'm gonna go put these guys back now. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Leave a comment in the box below. Let me know what some of your new acquirements in the world of Funko were this past month. Is there anything that I missed? And what are you looking forward to in the month ahead? Are you excited for Target Con? Are you excited for any of the other cons? Because around this time, I believe, is Emerald City Comic Con. We also have New York Toy Fair coming down the horizon. I don't know if Funko is going to be featured, but these are things that collectors in general are always excited about. And of course, there are some other really cool announcements that took place that are going to be featured in a free comic book day. But in the meantime, everybody, I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, feel free to leave a comment. Also, feel free to subscribe if you want to be up to date with our latest videos. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.